Hello, YouTube. This is the Galley La Podcast, and today we are going to be reviewing One Piece Manga Chapter 1140, Scopper Gaban. So I'm Akainu Fanboy, the other guy's Geboss. Please like and subscribe if you're not, and leave your thoughts on this chapter below and our review. So, this dreaded cover story continues. I hate it more than usual because I think it's just really bad writing that the Marines somehow missed out on ulti and page one, but they didn't miss out on King and Queen.
I mean, we didn't really even see. We only saw King and Queen get taken down by Ryokugyu in the when he showed up. Like, we have no idea what happened to the rest of the Toby Roppo. So
yeah, I guess the Marines didn't show up and everything to arrest them en masse. So are Momonosuke and all of his crew just dumb for not arresting these people then?
I don't know. Yeah, it does seem like kind of a thing that, like, a lot of Kaido's big operatives are still at large in Wano.
Like, they're not fodder, you know? Like, they're heavy, you know, pretty strong guys, and then they're just chilling in the same country that they just enslaved, you know?
It would be like if like in Dressrosa, Dofi's people were still hanging around, you know?
Yeah, and then also there's an added interest for the government to take out who's who as well.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's all part of a big master plan, but
probably. There's nothing master about Wano, but
and it also begs the question, like, why is who's who, like, turned against Ulti in page one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I don't care. So when it comes to, because I hate Wano so much, but like, anyway, so we get to some good stuff with Scopper Gaban, and so Luffy's irritated, and he wants the key. We see some fights. We're reminded that Scopper fought off a lot of the warriors of Elbaf, and Zoro's reflecting on it. And what do you think of this fight and this interaction right here?
I kind of like this just little fight, because we see Luffy kind of going for the key and everything, and we see how he's like underestimating Scopper because he doesn't really know who he is, and Scopper is just dodging everything. And I do like the attack where he just smacks Luffy with the key infused with Haki. Now, this is going to be a thing. Is that Conqueror's Haki? Because we see the lightning coming off of it, or is it just strong armament?
Yeah, and that's always kind of be a frequent debate, because we do see him use armament Haki kind of that first panel, you know, which is like kind of a cool Sanji thing right there, indicator. And I also think the key too, when he shoved it in Luffy's like mouth and everything, that came off as like a really Sanji thing to do too, you know. And like, just because like he's also kicking it to him too, he's using his foot to put it in him. I don't know, it just had like a lot of Sanji vibes there, how he would treat Luffy in some circumstances. But like, I do think Oda's teasing us with that. Like, is it a Haki? Is it Conqueror's Haki? Is it not? I think it is. That's just me. I mean, I think he has it at the very least, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think about the whole thing with Shanks not giving it to Luffy permanently, the hat, because Scopper notices the hat? Because he would know the significance of it.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to, I mean, obviously, yeah, he would know the significance due to his crew. And I don't know, yeah, I don't know, I find that kind of interesting. Like, I think it might have just been a throwaway line, but I'm not sure. It could be a lot more. Yeah, I'm going back and forth on that one.
Yeah. It's almost like, because we know the straw hat is going to be significant. And I don't know. It's just something that caught my attention. But
yeah, for sure. It was funny to see Zoro pull a Big Mom by saying Luffy dodge.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
that was great. Yeah, that was. And Zoro looked like he was sweating a little bit too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could once he pulled out the axes. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just really like this attack panel that, like, with all the cuts going through the air and everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it just looks cool.
Definitely.
Because once again, like, axes aren't a thing that we see too much in the series.
Yeah, Killer's like the closest thing. I mean, even that little panel right there when Zoro says "ha," it looked a little bit like Killer to me for a second. Like, what the heck? And then, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it's something new, and I like it. And I do like the slashing marks all over it. But does breaking a giant castle like that is like impressive. And it seemed to be kind of like, not a super strong attack. Were you disappointed how he just dipped out as soon as the year 5 happened?
No, what made me disappointed was that Gear 5 showed up at all, because I think we've talked about this before, how Luffy just going into Gear 5 all the time kind of diminishes it. Because even with Gear 4, he didn't use Gear 4 all the time. He only broke it out with like big people and in certain situations because it was such a drain on him.
I think here it's like justified because he's realized he's fighting strong opponent, but he's been using it on like lower fodder creatures in this arc too. So that I think that's kind of why it's become an issue.
Like, I guess, but I don't know if Luffy would try to gauge Scopper's power level by maybe going like Gear 4 first instead of jumping straight to Gear 5, Sure. That's my critique about it. Like going straight to Gear 5.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. It's interesting to think about for sure. I wish he went into it less often, but I guess, I think Gear 4 would have been a nice appropriate one, and seeing him take down Gear 4 easily would probably happen,
Because, I mean, we don't see Zoro go straight into, like, Nine Sword style or King of Hell mode or whatever. Yeah.
And, I mean, I do like how Scopper's trolly with it, though. Like,
I
but
like
even... I think it's humorous, and they're just like, wait, what? So... But I did obviously want to see more. Like, we've been waiting for this more and more this whole time, because we haven't even seen like Rayleigh technically go all out.
Yeah, I think the closest was with Blackbeard.
Yeah, or Kizaru, right?
Yeah.
And so this is just kind of a tease for sure. And I really wanted to see the Sanji parallel guy like go all out, and that just didn't happen. I think we will definitely see more later of him, but I kind of wanted to see it demonstrated against like a top tier character like Luffy.
Yeah, it would be cool. I was thinking about that too, because we get the whole thing. I thought he was going to be more of a presence in the arc, kind of more like Rayleigh was at Sabaody.
Yes.
Where he kind of explained some things to the crew and everything. But I think he is going to come back in the story before like the end. End of it, just because he knows so much, especially like we see the flashback with him meeting the Shanks. I guess they're on Elbaf because Shanks is asking, or no, Gabon's asking Shanks if he really can trust Luffy that easily upon meeting him. But
and he also said like, come find me, and it is funny how Zoro, you're like, why would he ever need to find you again? You're a moron, right? And all this stuff. So I like how he still hasn't told him who he is. So that's a little bit more. I think Rayleigh, he introduced himself pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Scopper's a little bit of a troll, which I like that. I hope, since we're this far off with it in the story, that Scopper does something really cool over the top, or even like has a good like fight with Luffy before, because like, come on, we're this far in Oda. we've waited 2 weeks for the Scott reveal to see the fight, and this happened. Like, come on. You know?
Well,
like,
maybe it's not going to be like against Luffy, but maybe against Loki or one of the Holy Knights or something, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just would have been cool to see how them pair up against one another, to see how that worked out, though, and a good way for Luffy to train and everything. But because, you know, if Rayleigh trained Luffy, and I know I'm not gonna say he's gonna train him for 2 years, it would be interesting to see the other wing of the Pirate King train Luffy as well too. But maybe he's gonna train him in a different way.
Maybe,
you know, lore dump or something. But I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, maybe this is just something, because he's saying like if Elbaf is still safe, so maybe he knows something's gonna happen or going on, or I don't know. But maybe like at the end of the arc, it will be revealed that he's the guy with the flame scar, and that he has the final road poneglyph.
Right.
And that's why he wants Luffy to come find him.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that works. And yeah, so there's definitely going to be more to see from him, because he says, like, come find me, so we'll see how that's going to work out. And so when we see the Gods Knights here, and I will say, like, I know maybe many people have pointed this out, but it's funny how they have, like, this demonic or necromancy type of seal right here, and they refer to themselves as the Gods Knights and everything, you know? Just that irony is just kind of funny in that way. Like, it's just interesting to see how that's brought up and everything. And they bring in these 2 new great characters who are I had a feeling they were going to be gags, you know, but
well,
so
I mean, this is probably the most personality we've seen out of like celestial dragons. Like with like, Summers.
Yeah, the other ones are just kind of fat, lazy, and lustful, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly an entrance, just being teleported in your underwear. And then I think this is pronounced. So I read 2 of the early scans. So this is TCB, and I read the OP scans one, and they've translated this other one a little bit differently. So in the OP scans one, it's Saint Kirangam, and this one's Saint, I think it's pronounced Chilingam.
Okay.
But I looked it up because, like, I know a Kirin is a mythological creature. Like Sasuke used it for his attack when he fought Itachi.
Yes.
But I looked it up, and a Chilin is also it is a legendary hooved chimerical creature that appears in Chinese mythology. It is said to appear with the imminent arrival or death of a sage or illustrious ruler. So once I learned that, my immediate thought went to Saul.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because they're showing up at the Owl Library, and it would be tragic, especially like reuniting with Robin and everything. But yeah, it's also, if you notice, like, it looks like he's an awakened user because he has the ring around his neck.
Yeah.
But and then Saint Summers is the same house, the shepherd house, as Jupiter, the sandworm.
Yeah.
From the Gorosei. So.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, well, good research there. I mean,
yeah.
It's it looks a little different than Sasuke's attack, though.
A little bit, yeah. But
a lot cooler, actually. But yeah. So it was funny how they're just spawned in, and I think it's a little bit of another tease too, like Shamrock's getting taken away.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like Oda's just like, Oda, what are you doing? We had all these breaks, and you're taking away like the 2 most hyped characters right now. And you're kind of bringing us to lolcats right here, you know, just like memes instead, you know. So
we still
it's just kind of
who's serious.
But it's not Shamrock, But
Yeah, that's true.
I assume Shamrock's gonna come back, and Shanks will come back, and Scopper will come back. Just right now, it's just kind of taking a little bit of the oxygen, like the hype out of it a little bit, And it's been a good arc, I was waiting for some high tier clashes. I'm like, Oda, why are you holding this off for this far in? 1,140 chapters in. Come on, Oda.
Yeah. Well, I like that you brought up the fact that Shamrock's getting taken out of the story, because it could Oda could be saving this meeting between him and Luffy for a later time, when it's more dramatic, rather than having him find out right away.
Yeah, that's true. Loki can be present. Yeah, all the high tiers can be present, right? There could be a lot of crazy crap. Like, there's a lot of potential for things to get crazy, and it will get crazy, especially since this arc's been particularly quiet and peaceful towards the start. Yeah. I mean, I can't really think of anyone else showing up at this point in time. Blackbeard seems occupied with Garp and all that, and I get Kid's like the only likely possibility at this point in time, because we already have the representation from the world government here. I guess Aruj, let's just say Aruj is going to show up too.
Yeah.
But like, I think we kind of have all the characters that we're going to probably have for this arc right now.
Yeah. Which is actually kind of good, because like with Egghead, it's more of a compact story with not as many characters.
Yeah.
Not like Wano, where it ballooned out of control.
Precisely. Yeah. And I think we'll have enough to get a lot of good content out of this. And we'll be focused. It'll be good. But I think the Saul thing's interesting. But I think one connection, a fallen ruler, maybe could be connected with Saturn too, just falling recently.
Maybe, but it says in the imminent arrival or death of a sage. So imminent arrival or death. So one could be yeah. But
so that was just kind of one thought that came to my mind too.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple more points that I just wanted to bring up really quick.
Go ahead.
So, I don't think Scopper's going to be completely out of the story. Like, he's going away right now, but I think he's going to come back because these Holy Knights are going to be kidnapping children, and his kid's there. So
that's a good point. Yeah.
Once he gets a hint of that, he could be going after them. And then we see that, like, so apparently to teleport through the seal, you have to have like a tattoo that you have, which relates back to like more like demonic imagery with like the mark of the beast and everything, because they specifically say like they pass through, they call it the abyss, that seal.
Sure.
I thought that was interesting. And then it's just this weird thing that Summers says, what are we doing in a non-member nation like this? Were you visiting Harald's grave or something? I'd be like, why would Shamrock be visiting Harald's grave? Why would Summers think about that? So there has to be some connection there. And that kind of points more toward the fact that maybe Harald was involved with the God's Knights or the Celestial Dragons at some point.
Yeah.
And Loki killed him because of that reason.
That's a possibility for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of my thoughts about that.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts about those?
So I would agree with that, because I think what I kind of find interesting about this whole thing is like you said, it's an era of peace, and Loki hated the idea of an era of peace. And if that happened, then why would the world governments kill the guy that brought in an era of peace, basically, if that makes sense? So that's why, I think they could have just been in the same, definitely associated with one another, and that's part of the reason why Loki killed him too, for being corrupt and being with the world government and all that kind of stuff as well, Yeah,
because it seems like Loki knows about the Celestial Dragons and the Holy Knights and everything.
Yeah.
But
So if that, yeah, because it wouldn't make sense for them to assassinate King Harald.
yeah,
And also when Loki saw the God's Knights, he wasn't like, "Oh, you were the ones that killed my father." You know, it was just like, you know, like, "Oh, I hate you guys." You know, so yeah, so those would kind of be my notes to kind of back up what you're saying.
yeah. It's just, yeah. If you read more into some of this stuff, you can bring out a lot of it. You know. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
But,
so there's a lot going on, but I'm glad we're not on a break, so that's good too.
Exactly. But yeah, good chapter. I think we're going to see more of Scopper, so be hyped to see that. And I'm nervous for Saul in the library and the kids.
And for sure, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens because I don't think Chopper and Robin can defend them.
It might give Chopper something to do. Fight against Chillingham.
He's gonna get negative. It's not gonna be close.
I mean, we'll see. But yeah.
All right. Well, please like and subscribe if you have not. Everybody, leave your comments below. Thoughts on the chapter, thoughts on our review, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
See ya.